Hey everybody, I wanted to make this video because I had kind of a crazy thing that happened to me this weekend during church service. I kind of blanked on the chords that I was going to play, and it sounded awful, and it was one of the worst mistakes I've ever made. Luckily we recorded it so I can show you. So watch this.
And the angels cry, holy, all creation cries, holy, you are living.
Okay, it sounded awful, but there are some takeaways that I learned from it, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So first thing, what I wanted to play, I wanted to throw in some gospel chords in my head that sounded good, and I was thinking something along the lines, the song was in the key of D, and so the chorus goes, and the angels cry, holy, da-da-da-da-da, oh. I was kind of something like that, and then kind of do kind of a weird 6 minor. So that's kind of what my idea was. But the problem with it is I didn't have any time to practice because it wasn't planned like the week going into it. We were at church, we were running through it, and the worship leader just had an idea. Hey, let's throw a down chorus at the end of the song. So I only had a couple minutes to try to throw together some chords that I wanted to do. And the idea was I wasn't prepared. And that's what happened is I kind of went blank and had no idea what I was doing. And it was so funny because in my head, I'm thinking, okay, this is the chords that I'm going to play here in a couple minutes. And I lost track of what the chords that I was actually playing, if that makes sense. My head was too far into the future. And then when I don't even know what chords I was hitting, but I hit that first chord and it was bad. And then I was like, shoot, I don't know what my second chord is. Let me just try this. And I just hit something and it was even worse. And I don't know if you've ever had this, if you played live where you just kind of blank. It's like, shoot, I don't know what song I'm playing. I don't know what key I'm in. I have no idea what I'm doing. So the couple takeaways that I got from that, number one, always have a set list written down and then the key that the song is in. So if something like that happens, you have a reference point you can look at and say, okay, this is what we're doing. This is the key that it's in. And so at least that can help get you back on track. And then my second takeaway is to not try to throw in something new unless you've had plenty of time to practice it. Obviously, there was a huge mistake that I made, but the reason it was is because I only had maybe 10 minutes or so to try to figure out what I was going to do. And then I was overthinking by the time I got to it. So if I would have had more time during the week to kind of, really rehearse and practice and play through it, it would have gone a lot smoother. But just if you're not ready, don't try to implement some new chords or some new technique or something live because it's probably not going to work out well. And then my third takeaway is, going into the weekend, make sure that you have a plan in place in case something like that happens and you mess up. Luckily for me, I always write down my set list and the key that the songs are in right there on my keyboard. So, if I mess up, I can always look at it and reference, okay, this is the song, this is the key that we're in. And so that can quickly kind of get you back on track in case you just kind of lose it and you forget where you're at. And one thing I've learned over the years is there's a little trick that you can always do. And this works for like 95% of all worship songs out there because most worship songs typically follow kind of the same chord structures. So what you can do, so that song is in the key of D. The trick is if you hold a 1 and a 5, and I'll double it up there, if you have a pad, like a strings patch or a pad patch that you can keep on standby if you're just playing piano that you can kind of roll in. If you forget what you're doing, find out what key the song is in, hit my 1 and 5, roll the pad in, then that pad layer will be a great kind of like an underscore for the entire song. So it doesn't even matter what section of the song it's in, if it's a verse or chorus or whatever, a 1 and a 5 will play on any chord that's in that song. And it's really, really cool. So say I messed up and the angels cry, holy, da-da-da-da-da, and I forget. It's like, shoot, okay, got the song's in the key of D. I'm going to hit a 1 and a 5. And then I'll just roll the pad in. Da-da-da-da-da, holy, you are lifted high, holy, holy forever. And it almost sounds like kind of like an a cappella chorus with an underscore. And so that's a really cool trick. 1 and 5, roll your pad in, And then at least that'll give you a couple seconds to figure out, okay, where are we at in the song? I know the key. Okay, let me try to work back in the chords, and then come back in with the piano. So that's always a good plan for me, at least what I have. I always have my pad on standby, and I have fader bars on my piano so that I can kind of roll it up when I need it and roll it off when I don't. Have a plan in place in case something like that happens. And then the last takeaway is just, learn from your mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes. We all make mistakes, but don't beat yourself up too much about it. Even if it's something that's really stands out and you think everybody in the congregation can hear you and you think, oh man, they're making fun of me and shoot, I should have known better. Don't beat yourself up. Just learn from your mistakes, roll with the punches. For me, one thing I need to work on is gospel chords, because clearly I can't just kind of wing together some cool gospel chords, kind of a spur of the moment in a chorus. I'm just not that good enough to be able to do it. So for me, I know exactly what I need to work on over the next months and years. So it's always nice. If you make a mistake, learn from it. Don't beat yourself up. Have fun. And yeah, so I hope this video helps you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.